What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and ooh, you just knew that Twitter was going to get all butthurt about Bill Burr defending Gina Carano in, like, the literal slightest way. Like, I knew. See, YouTubers, we were a day ahead of this. Today, there was a whole slew of articles titled, like, Bill Burr defends Gina Carano in angry rant, or, like, Bill Burr sticks it to cancel culture. Yeah, he did, but he also didn't. You know, he didn't exactly, like, name anybody. He didn't say Disney. He didn't say Kathleen Kennedy. He didn't say, you know, I disagree with the firing, although I think that can be reasonably inferred from what he said. You know, in the podcast, he said, you know, essentially, now I got to watch what I got to say. You know, I work for this company. That is basically a direct quote of what he said. I covered the podcast yesterday, and the articles are flowing out today, and ooh, people are salty. See, Bill Burr is relatively cancel-proof, not uncancelable. Nobody is above cancel culture. But, you know, he's got a black wife. He's very progressive. He just isn't about that cancel culture life. He isn't about the perpetually offended. And by the way, neither am I. And if you're watching this video and you aren't yet subscribed, please do consider subscribing today, allowing me to earn your subscription. It's the only way you'll find my videos, since YouTube certainly does bury them deep below everything else. And it's the only way we're going to grow. You see this article from The Blaze. The Mandalorian actor Bill Burr defends Gina Carano in tirade against cancel culture. There's people just waiting, just laying in the weeds. Comedian Bill Burr defended Gina Carano, his former co-star, The Mandalorian, in a tirade against cancel culture that led to her firing over social media posts. Bill Burr made comments on his podcast, All Things Comedy, with guest Joe DeRosa in February. DeRosa explained the Instagram post that got Carano in trouble after she compared blah, blah, blah. I just don't get it. Bill says, I'm on that effing show. Now I gotta watch what I effing say, lamented Burr. DeRosa pointed out that the outrage against Carano was so crazy that they even canceled the action figure from her character on the show. They canceled her action figure, DeRosa said. That's how deep cancel culture is. They canceled her action figure. Let the action figure come out. Co-host Bert Kreischer asked Bill if Carano had ever pitched her conservative ideas to him on the show. He says, no, she was an absolute sweetheart, responded Burr. Super effing nice person. You know what? Whatever. And somehow someone's going to take this video and make me say something else. You know, try to get rid of my bald action figure, he joked. Burr went on to condemn those who seek to destroy celebrities by finding controversial statements or social medias in the past. It's an effing crazy time, he said. There are people just waiting, just laying in the weeds. Yeah. He's not wrong. In particular, you know, I find, and women are not immune to cancel culture, not at all, but it does seem to affect men disproportionately, especially in the gaming space and the entertainment world. And it also, to an even more disproportionate level, seems to affect people of a particular political leaning. Again, that doesn't mean people who are, you know, left-leaning are immune, but I mean, James Gunn was rehired. Roseanne was not. And I don't think Roseanne is not a liberal either. You know, it's a weird thing. He also gave a solution. How about you just be an individual and you continue to buy tickets to people you want to go see? After she was fired from the popular Star Wars show, Carano announced that she would be starring in a new movie produced by the Daily Wire, a conservative media group. I'm sending out a direct message. We already saw that. And we saw IndieWire just a few hours ago writing, Bill Burr addresses The Mandalorian co-star Gina Carano's firing. She was an absolute sweetheart. Bill Burr is the first actor for The Mandalorian to weigh in on the firing of Gina Carano due to the controversial social media post during a recent episode of the Bill Burr podcast. It's a weird time. Unless she did something truly horrible or said like overtly racist stuff, Burr said about Carano, I don't know. I think there are too many channels and you got to do sensational stuff. I don't know what the F it is. I'm on that effing show. Now I got to watch what I got to say. She was an absolute sweetheart, super effing nice person, Bill Burr added later. And you know, whatever. Burr is obviously referencing how Hasbro canceled Cara Dune. I don't know if Hasbro actually canceled the Cara Dune figure. I'm guessing that like Disney probably said, hey, this character doesn't exist anymore, cancel making it, or we revoke the license for the character or something like that. Later in the podcast, Burr elaborated on his views of cancel culture by saying, now it's becoming like, hey, you made an ignorant comparison, flushing sound. There goes your dream, right? I look at, and it's like, who the F stands up to that? Nobody, really. Ultimately, Carano, I don't think, was the canary in the coal mine. We had the Roseanne versus James Gunn, which was like the left and right both participating in cancel culture. And now, basically, the conservative side has lost. They have lost kind of the culture battle, this particular one, in particular when it comes to cancel culture. There's just no denying that. They should have never been participating in it in the first place. I just think both sides are wrong with this. Now, 90%, 95% of fans of The Mandalorian are normies who don't use Twitter or YouTube or whatever, and they're going to lose a character that they truly loved in Cara Dune. Young girls will lose a character that was a strong female character, a kick butt, female to look up to, and they're not going to know why. So they're going to go to the internet, and they're going to find out why, of course, and they're not going to like it. And I don't like it. Carano is now moving on to develop a star. With her initial statement, I'm sending out a direct message of hope to everyone living in fear of cancellation by a totalitarian mob. I've only just begun using my voice. Well, I hope that's true. It's, the Washington Times, everybody, Gina Carano, absolute sweetheart, defended by Mandalorian actor Bill Burr. It's effing crazy. And this was basically like a throwaway comment, but you see people, good for Bill Burr to stand up for Gina. Other people at Disney, like director James Gunn, have said way worse things than she did, and they still have their jobs. I mean, I covered, I'll be covering later today, another Lucasfilm employee that was way over the line. The James Gunn stuff too was like weird jokes. I'm not sure they even happened while he was an employee of Disney. Disney disagrees because they're devoid of logic, reason, sanity, and tolerance. But you knew Twitter wouldn't like it. You see a lot of anger. Of course, Bill Burr is defending Gina Carano. What a piece of garbage. Okay, he literally just said she was an absolute sweetheart. This is something that a lot of people are just incapable of accepting on Twitter. Look, I have a darts league tonight. And one of the players on my team is like a literal, he enjoyed Rush Limbaugh's radio show. He's far more conservative. He's pretty conservative. And then I have a Bernie voter. Guess what? We're all on the same team of 4 players. And you know how many times it's ever been a problem for us? A 0. Even election night, we had a game and nobody cared. We were playing darts, enjoying our lives, because that's what normal people do. Cancel culture concerns Bill Burr, which I get. He's a comedian. Yet he's among the many comedians that have turned all firings into a trope. And they don't honestly admit the problems with rhetoric because they're blinded by job and friendship. I'm concerned for him. I don't think Bill Burr needs you to be concerned for him. He can't seem to understand how his friend, and I don't think he said Gina Carano was his friend, crossed a line into anti-Semitism, which she didn't, which are social media posts. Burr wants to be honest, he should admit his friend was given multiple chances to, quote, not cross the line. What you really mean is multiple chances to fall in line. Bill Burr, you can't cry about watching what you say when you work for a huge corporation like Disney. I have to watch what I say, wear, and promote, and I only work for a medium-sized corporation. You can't be that out of touch. This isn't cancel culture. It's corporate politics. Absolute baloney. We know that Lucasfilm literally supported somebody who espoused multiple disparaging tweets about white women. Lucasfilm's official Twitter account came out to support her. She hosts the New Republic show on their YouTube channel, which constantly gets downvoted into oblivion. So no, it isn't about corporate and politics. I mean, corporations are politics. The left thinks they're super, woke, fighting the power, while they're literally espousing the exact same things super huge mega corporations are. It would never be a problem for somebody. We saw this, all the uproar when people wore, BLM lanyards to work. But then if somebody wore a Make America Great Again hat, that was forbidden. Again, I don't think either one should be in the workplace. That's why there's uniforms. But I'm just saying there's a bias. You can only rely on Bill Burr to lack nuance and ability to read when it comes to cancel culture. Now what I gotta say, sometimes listening to Burr is like listening to a tween that takes accountability and turns it into hyperbole. I mean, yeah, who cares what Bill Burr has to say? Did she equalize being hunted down? Again, she never ever did that. She used the example of, pre-World War II to talk about how the government will turn people against each other. And now it's not really the government doing it, it's the media and it's each other with this tattletale pearl clutching culture that you think you've got your neighbor's got a MAGA flag in their yard. So you're going to go over there and you're going to tear it down and you're going to post it on Instagram for likes and retweets. This is the modern day neighbor. I mean, where I'm from, you go on another man's lawn, you're going to catch a beatdown. And that's if you're lucky. All right. There's all sorts of people with Trump flags right next to Biden flags. And there was never a problem where I live. But I live in the suburbs where, at least this generation of social media addicted, vapid losers still aren't grown up yet. A lot of the people around me have kids that are like maybe just getting into middle school, so they'll probably get there. But for now, I commend Bill Burr and I wish him the best from the upcoming hate mob. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like, a comment, and if you haven't yet, I hope today I've earned your subscription. There's a button right down below. Please click it. That'll be the only way you find my videos. Hope you enjoyed. We'll talk to you again real soon.